Hello, my name is Sarah and this is my channel, Novel Serendipity. This is going to be my February book haul. So I bought 2 books at Barnes & Noble and then, I don't know, like 7 or 8 books at Half Price Books. So the 2 books that I bought at Barnes & Noble were Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor. This is the 3rd in the trilogy for Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I am buddy reading Daughter of Smoke and Bone with Noria for the Valentine's Buddy Read Roulette. I am loving it. So I bought book 2 and then book 3 because I really am enjoying book 1 like so much. So yes, I bought it. And I did go to Half Price Books first to look for this book, and actually what happened was they had the hardcover but not the softcover. So I wanted them all to match, so I went to Barnes & Noble and bought book 3. I did buy book 2. Before this big book haul, I went and got 3 different books for like one mini book haul, so this is actually like 2 book hauls in one. But I did get this one at Half Price Books. They had the softcover, so here we are. I have book 2 and 3. And then the other book that I bought at Barnes & Noble is The Unwanteds by Lisa McMahon. This is a middle grade book, and it is Kirkus Reviews says The Hunger Game meets Harry Potter, which is really cool. And I do like her young adult Wake trilogy like a lot. That used to be like my favorite trilogy back in like high school, I think, like early high school, freshman, sophomore year. So I really have been wanting to get to her middle grade series, and there's quite a few books in it, but it's a middle grade book, so like the margins are really big, the words are really big, and yeah, there isn't much to a page. So I'm actually really excited to get to this one because I've been looking at it for a while. Okay, and then on to my Half Price Books books. I haven't taken the stickers off of them yet, but the first one I got is Halo by Alexandra Odornetto, and this is a book about 3 angels that are sent by heaven to, I think, take care of like some stuff going on Earth, and it looks like one of the angels falls in love, and on the back it says, "Will love ruin Bethany or save her?" Don't know. But the cover and kind of like the synopsis kind of reminded me a little bit of Star-Crossed by Josephine Angelini, so I really just wanted to check this book out. Yeah, so here it is. Next, I got Linger by Meg Stiefvater. This is book 2 of the Shiver series. I did borrow book 2 and 3 in hardcover from one of my friends, but I do own book 1 in softcover, so I wanted to own all 3 of them in softcover. They didn't have book 3 in softcover, only hardcover, so I mean, it's not like something that I need like right away, so we're just gonna have to wait and see when they get that, because I would like to own them all. Next, I got Naruto, the 3rd volume. This is by Masashi Kishimoto. I have 1 and 2 and have read 1. I'm a huge Naruto fan, but I've never read the manga, so I am slowly collecting these, and it was only $3.99, so I got it. They didn't have 4, so I stopped at 3, but again, not something that I'm like collecting like on a crazy level. It's just when Half Price Books has them, I pick them up. Next, I got Cress by Marissa Meyer. I have Cinder, but I haven't yet read it, but they had this in softcover, and I'm going to be collecting them in softcover, so I picked it up. I know this is kind of like a Cinderella retelling, except it's like mechanical or something like that. Again, I don't know much about my series before going into them. I love to be surprised and go in blind. I know this is a retelling of something, but I have heard really good things about it, so I have been wanting to get to this series at some point. Next, I got City of Lost Souls by Sandra Clare in softcover. I think in my last book haul video, I was telling you guys that I'm collecting the series all in softcover because I do want to try to reread it at some point in my life. I have really been enjoying the side series more than I originally liked like the main series. Yeah, it is something I want to get to, so here it is. Next, I found books 1 and 2 to The Tiger's Curse. So book 1 is Tiger's Curse by Colleen Hoke, and then I have Tiger's Quest. So the only thing I read on this book was the back. There's like a quote, and it says, "I was dying. I knew it. At least the pain was gone. I wanted to tell him that I loved him. Then darkness overtook me. ... And I know this series follows like Indian culture. There's a girl who's trying to break an Indian curse, and it's something I haven't really read read anything of, really. So I wanted to pick it up because it intrigued me. I love the covers, and yeah. So on my mini book haul, I went and picked up The Tiger's Curse, and then I went back a little bit later and they had book 2, so I picked it up. And so yeah, now I have books 1 and 2. I think it's a trilogy if I'm not mistaken. I wouldn't quote me on that. And then I'm telling you guys out of order, but I also got book 4 of The Mortal Instruments, City of Fallen Angels. So now I have books 1 through 5. Yes, books 1 through 5 in soft cover, and I guess there's really not much more to say about that one. This is one I recently added to my wish list, but this is Mystic City by Theo Lawrence. And on the back is all I originally read, again. And there isn't much on it, but it says, a magical city divided, a political rebellion ignited, a love that was meant to last forever. And then I know it takes place in Manhattan, like a year maybe? I don't know. I know that the poor live like down below and then the rich people live up high. I was captured by the cover, to be completely honest. Yeah, so here it is. I don't know much about it. And the last one is A Crown of Wishes by Roshani Chokshi. I have heard a bunch of people talking about this one. I don't know much about it, but it says, I didn't know hurt or fear. When my skin gave way and my nails bent, I knew what it meant to be stripped down to your barest self. It meant seeing the world for what it was. I took my skin and I released that thing that had always lurked, crept, and slept within me. A beast, a monster, a myth, a girl. What was the difference? And I have heard a few people talking really good things about this book, so when I found it at Half Price Books, I picked it up right away at the discounted price because, yeah, the only reason I can buy so many books is when I find good deals. So if you heard or read any of these books that I have not, please let me know what you think of them down below in the subscription box. And I'm curious, how many of you wait to find deals on books, and how many of you just go to Barnes & Noble or Books A Million or whatever bookstore you have near you and buy books new? Yeah. But like, comment, and subscribe down below if you haven't already, and all the love. Bye!